Command codes verified. Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
Hello, captains, and welcome to the live broadcast recording of episode 528. Are we 28 or 27? I don't remember. 28 of Priority 1, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. We did not go live last week. We had to change our schedule, but we are back this week, and I'm going to change the number on the top of the restream thing because it was saying 526, but this is episode 528 and we're live now. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
How was your weekend?
Pretty good.
We're talking about going to Ticonderoga in November, so if anybody who's watching now, somebody's Film Monk Productions is saying hello from Canberra. Roscoe.
Hello, Phil Monk. Hello to you and all other Canberrans. Hope you're well. Rainy Canberra today, I see. Well, I'm in sunny Queensland, and it is sunny and humid and sunny with a high chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. So, fun.
Nice. Well, yeah. If you were thinking about, it's AJ. Oh, what's up, AJ?
I didn't know he was an Aussie.
AJ,
I'm like,
I cannot.
That's reference to the sunshine, I think.
Oh, it's reference to the sunshine. Yeah. So we're thinking about doing Ticonderoga. We were just talking before we went live about what was it? The second weekend of November? Is that what we just said? First.
Second.
So if you happen to live on the East Coast or are willing to take a trip, let us know. Reach out to us. Maybe we can do a trip up to Ticonderoga for a weekend and do a tour and have some pancakes at the Flapjack Patty Whack Diner.
Oh yeah, that place was crazy.
What?
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but yeah, that whole town is very interesting.
Yeah. So, if you're watching, let us know. Other than that, shall we get started on the show?
Sure.
Let's.
All right. I am going to hit the big red button here.
Oh,
And I don't know who read. I don't remember who read last week. So whoever.
I think it was Russ.
'Twas me.
So, Kat, would you?
Oh, right.
I think it's your turn, Elio.
No, I. Since
No,
I
mine.
do
Stop
the
trying to
Hello
take the
Captains,
spotlight away from yourself.
I do want to take the spotlight away from myself. Because I do the open hello captains, so it just doesn't make sense for me to go back to back, back to back.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. This week on episode 528 of Priority One, we delve into the whale-filled wash-up of the season finale of Lower Decks. Anson Mount discusses literally sitting in the captain's chair. And is that a star on top of the Christmas tree or a Borg baby spray-painted gold? In gaming news, we take a closer look at Star Trek Online's Halloween event and roll for shield strength in a new release from Star Trek Adventures.
Hello, captains. You're listening to episode 528 of Priority One, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. Your weekly recap and review of all the major news happening in the Star Trek multiverse. This episode was recorded on Tuesday, October 19th, and available for download or streaming on Friday, October 22nd at PriorityOnePodcast.com. I'm Elio.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Roscoe.
How are you all doing this fine week? Did you have a good weekend?
Yes.
No conventions,
Had a
no nothing, huh?
No, I know. It's pretty slow weekend around here.
Also slow here as well. Very, very quiet. So just been delving into Star Trek Online and slowly kitting out my new Tier 6 Mirror Gagarin and working on that build. And it's just going really well and really enjoying it. It's so much fun to fly. Yeah, very much enjoying that. And somehow still ended up with some whole pack of agony phases there that I haven't unboxed yet. So that's going to get shuffled around to a different character. And it's just spreading the love, baby. Just spreading that phase of love.
Kat, I have buyer's remorse. I took your advice
What?
and spent the Zen on the Gagarin, and I'm not using it.
You don't like it?
No,
Why?
it's a little too squishy for me, and the yeah, I was
Mine's not squishy.
I don't know, maybe I just have to spec it out. You know what I'm thinking about getting is the Section 31 battle cruiser, because I think you can run gravity well on that, can't you?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't know.
I mean,
thinking.
all right. Well, I feel bad for giving you bad advice, but
That's
okay. Mine's not that squishy. I mean, maybe you should check on your build.
I will check on my build for sure.
Maybe you're just used to turning at an incredibly slow pace because you're so used to the Sovereign.
No, I'm not flying the Sovereign. My go-to is the Fleet Arbiter. My go-to is the Fleet
Outrageous.
I still would have thought you'd have liked the Gagarin playing
I don't know.
that.
Maybe I'll give it another shot. And I also didn't upgrade it. I just have, I didn't do the T6X upgrade.
Well, I didn't do that either, but I have some, pretty good consoles on there. Dave Rutley says, obviously you're doing it wrong.
Everybody in the chat doing it wrong.
Not necessarily that you're doing it wrong, but there's always ways to improve. Can I highly recommend hitting up the Armada for some advice
I will
and some
certainly do
builds?
that. I will certainly do that.
Well, before we jump into the news, we want to welcome new listeners to the show, and we hope that you'll stay in touch. You see, this show is produced by a community of volunteers who donate their time and their talents because, like you, they are passionate about what Star Trek is all about.
So we hope you'll get involved and be a part of our community. I can't read today. Follow us on social media so you can share your thoughts about the weekly headlines. Join the Armada so that you can experience Star Trek gaming with like-minded Trekkies. Or consider joining the team and lending your skills and passion to producing this show.
Sorry, 1 second.
Hold, please.
Another way that you can hold on, wait. Okay. That's right. Like Kat said, you can join the team. We're always looking for talented volunteers to join our family here at Priority One Podcast. like I've said in the past, we organize this production much like one would community theater. We all have a passion for Star Trek, and we try to share that with you each and every week. To do so, though...
And 5 minutes before showtime, Elio screams, "Places! Places, people!"
5 minutes to call. 5 minutes to call. 5 minutes to curtain. Thank you, 5. I lost my trail of thought now. Damn it. Okay. But unfortunately, like any production, it costs a little bit of money to produce. And so we turn to you, our listeners, to help support the show. So if you happen to find value in the production that we produce each and every week, we encourage you to check us out over at Patreon. That's patreon.com/priority1, where you can find out about all the perks we offer our supporters. To find out about all the perks we offer to our supporters.
Now, let's find out what's been happening in the Star Trek Multiverse.
What was that? Upward inflection and stop inflection. 605, please. Or 606. 606.
All right.
Okay. We don't have to go back to that because I just closed the document. That's probably a
Xenocore
mistake.
01 says, "I still have my point defense console from the launch of STO. That thing works great."
Yeah, I have that too. I haven't used it in a while. It's good. It's definitely good for against torpedoes and mines. Like anything that's coming at you slowly, you know. And it's great for leveling up for sure. It's a nice little console to have. I like my battle cruiser because I'm not squishy, but I can also kind of cut through things like a hot knife through butter, which is good. I'm still trying to figure out no, Jamal, but thank you. I'm still trying to figure out if aux to bat is useless, and if I can get back some of those DOF spots by...
Yeah, you just need the Boimler effect. Do you have that?
Yeah, I have the Boimler
I have an
effect,
extra.
but I hear that it's not as frequent as aux to bat. So I don't know. Maybe I can. I don't know. I don't
know. Any of you guys have any? I haven't set it up that way. Depends. I like your answer.
I desperately want them to do a revamp of the Fleet Advanced Escort. Desperately. I love that ship. I mean, I have it. You can't see it in the camera, but that's the game print ship that I had done. It's just so sleek, so sleek. All right, shall we do? Oh, thank you, Jason.
Are we singing? I'm like, no, I'm not singing it, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Elio.
I appreciate that. Thank you all. Thank you all who posted on my Facebook wall and whatnot and sent me messages and texts. You know, in a pandemic world, it's nice to feel connected a little bit in some way. So thank you all. Very much appreciate it.
Well, it's Wednesday here, so technically I'm a day late.
Technically, you're
but whatever.
Way to go, buddy.
I should have done it yesterday and been early.
Well, thank you all. I can think of no better way to spend my birthday than with you all, my family, my friends.
That's nice. I mean, I'm like,
Hey,
dude, you need to get creative.
All right,
because you know we're great. Everyone here is great.
Got it.
But come on.
All right, check it out at 1920, please. 3, 2,
920.
What did I say?
1920.
I was like,
I'm
we
sorry,
couldn't just banter for 10 minutes,
sorry,
did we?
My bad. How about all right, I'll read this. Mike McMahon, the creator of Star Trek Lower Decks, isn't resting on his laurels. Nope. After a generally well-received Season 2 of Star Trek's animated adventure, McMahon is making the rounds talking about the season, which just wrapped last October 14th. Sam Stone of Comic Book Resource jumped right in and asked about the unusual villain, the Packleds. McMahon's explanation, quote, when we're writing the first when we were missing. That was this article was full of typos.
It's like people don't even proofread anymore.
Mhm.
When we were writing the first quote, when we were writing the first season, we were in the thick of a pretty dark time across the world. The re-rise of fascism across multiple countries. Obviously, a lot of politics happening in this country, and not to put too fine a point to it, things that had seemed like a joke in the first place, suddenly becoming much more dangerous because we weren't vigilant about it. The Packleds seemed like a perfect opportunity for that. End quote. Kat, why don't you take this next paragraph?
What about that incredible cliffhanger? Well, according to McMahon, the goal of season 2 was meant to show Mariner, quote, grappling with themes of betrayal and being left, end quote. Supposedly, Mariner's got some past trauma that we haven't been privy to yet. Nevertheless, McMahon explains that Mariner will start season 3 struggling to deal with having her mother taken from her. When talking with StarTrek.com, he explained, quote, in the first season, we were really creating a family, and in the second season, we kind of tested them. And in the finale of the second season, we're dealing with the loss, the family breaking up, end quote.
You keep on.
Okay. What about What about our other characters? Well, there seems to be something deeper going on with Rutherford, something more than just a faulty cybernetic implant. McMahon tells CBR.com, quote, it's about Rutherford. There's stuff about Rutherford that he doesn't even realize, and this is his second implant, end quote. They go on to discuss some other character dynamics, like the will they, won't they tension between Rutherford and Tendi, along with some takeaways McMahon learned from the first 2 seasons. Links, of course, will be in our show notes.
I absolutely love his reasoning for using the Packleds. I'm not going to shy away from this. There is a subset of far-right individuals that I now cannot unsee as Packleds. I just can't. I just can't.
That's valid.
Anytime I see something ridiculous that from that group, that subset group of people, which is a lot, mind you, I'm just going to be like, red alarm. That's just going to be my response. That's it. That's it.
I mean, these are, these interviews that he's been giving. I just love how much, thought he's put into the stories he wants to tell. He does go on to say that as he's done writing one season and it's airing, the next season's already written. So, he doesn't have the feedback of, the ongoing season and doesn't draw from that when he's, writing the next story.
Yeah, the will they, won't they tension between Rutherford and Tendi is like this little thread to dangle in front of the audience, but there comes a point where you need to have an answer to that question one way or the other. And I thought for a moment in that season finale we were going to get it. Instead, we got Rutherford professing his love for the Cerritos and Tendi doing the same. So there was a moment where love was professed, but just not for another individual, just for a starship. And then we see the starship nude, and it's just like, this show has no boundaries. This show just continues to go places no other Star Trek has ever gone, and sometimes it's disgusting. So that's fine. But it's the shock. It's the shock. It pushes your comfort zone a little bit. That's what the shock is there to do. Mike, here we go.
I was like,
yeah,
come
reel
on.
that in there. Reel that in there because I there's a difference. No. No.
No. Go on. Come on.
Just gonna do
Come on.
my,
Because what the shock
my
does
best,
is it
Bob
pushes
Shield-
you
Bob,
outside of your boundaries. It pushes you outside of your
What?
comfort zone.
What?
It's there to shock you, to
Sho-
expand
how?
your horizon
What
a
do
little
you-
bit.
What am I? What did you walk away thinking? I'm a better person for watching Boimler be spread eagle.
I didn't say it made you a better person. I said it expanded your horizons.
What horizon?
It's expanded your boundaries in terms of, okay, that's expanded what you're comfortable with, so that when they show you a nude starship, all of a sudden you're okay with it.
Oh, now you're just giving me shit because because shock value is, in my opinion, just not good entertainment, right? I am of the school that believes that entertainment should encourage thought, be thought-provoking, and I'm not saying that Lower Decks is the only one guilty of this. Again, I refer back to Enterprise and those medical lather gel things that, they were...
It's the decon
rubbing
chamber,
off-
man.
yeah,
It's the decon chamber.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
could have
yeah.
alien
I mean-
spores on there. You bring that on the ship, it's a nightmare.
You could end up pregnant with nipples on your wrist. I
Right,
mean, I don't know.
right.
This
And-
is how you just
but-
get nipples on your wrist, people.
But, if it's in commentary of something, then I'm all for it. But if you're just going to do it just to be like, haha, look, we can show it to do it, haha, then it's not for me. There
But
is
they
no
didn't show it.
horizon that is broadened for me. I do
They
not
didn't
see
show it.
clearly now that the
There was a
rain is
black
gone.
bar. You didn't see it. They didn't show anything.
You just I'm not
They
going to...
didn't show
I'm not
anything.
biting.
They literally did not show anything apart from scratches on Shax's butt.
You're right.
And
There
that's
were
fine.
There were no genitalia present,
No, there wasn't.
but there was either was there genitalia and naked time.
Exactly. So what's the issue? What's the issue here, buddy?
I don't know how better to explain other than I'm not biting anymore. I'm not biting.
I'm shocked.
I love Mariner and Jennifer, by the way. I think that is awesome.
So that was interesting, right? Because he talked about that relationship in the StarTrek.com article where there seems to be a romance brewing between the two of them, which I did not pick up on. I just thought that
really?
that enemies become friends kind of
did.
thing. But I didn't really pick up on a intimate relationship brewing between Jennifer and Mariner. But to his own point, McMahon says, I kind of wish I did more of it sooner, right? And I agree, there's why not, but I think he could have driven that home a little harder for people with thick skulls like mine.
Oh, yeah, because I was like, remember she made that comment about Jennifer's ass,
I don't remember her what? When did she make a comment about Jennifer?
Yeah, she was like, she did. Maybe like the last episode before. She's like,
At the very
I can't
start
remember how
of the
she said
episode.
it. But she was like, "What, Jennifer? That ass." Whatever she
remember
said,
that.
it was something like that.
Yeah, so Jennifer was had that little moment where she said, "I don't think about you at all," and Mariner's fired back with, "Bet you think about me all the time with that stupid little butt."
Yeah, it was something like
yeah,
that.
but
But yeah, I was like, that's cute.
I just want to give a quick shout out before we continue. Please edit this out. This is an old Starbase UGC shirt that I got my first convention, where it says,
Oh, that's awesome.
"Alien don't give a shit." This was back with the Starbase UGC podcast ages ago, and I got this shirt. It's an old shirt, but I'm hot, so. All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought
I
I'd
love
have
it.
I thought I had my choo-choo shirt for the show, but it didn't come today. Even though it said it was getting delivered.
Because this came out, this was roughly around the time of the Honey Badger Don't Give a Shit. So that was the joke. was the
Oh,
Don't
okay.
give a shit. Man, it's really hard.
Well, I was
I'll be right back
disappointed
home.
that my Ritos shirt did not turn up this week, but then again, international shipping. So it could be here next week. It could be here next year. AJ, am I right?
Oh, see you. AJ had to go to work.
Ah,
To
Enjoy.
Rachel, he's just off camera.
he's off camera. He's changing shirts, perhaps.
Oh, okay.
Who could say?
So yeah, I just love Mike McMahon. I really do. Oh, and I know the guys in chat were talking about Matt and Kimolu, or Kimolu, however you say her name. They're my new favorites. I mean, Cetacean Ops is like the place to be.
The beluga whales, you're on the money.
Yeah, I was like, they had to be whales, right?
I thought short-nosed dolphins, snub-nosed dolphins for sure, but no, beluga whales. And that tracks.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Beluga whales are absolutely amazing. I've seen videos of like one in a harbour that went down and got either someone's GoPro or phone or something like that after it fell into the
Aw.
ocean. They brought it back up for them.
That's nice. I'm
yeah,
sure
so-
it was totally usable after all that.
Yes, Dave, that was I believe that was confirmed by Mike McMahon, who said they're belugas. Yeah.
In those articles, which will be in our show notes, yeah, he definitely confirms they're beluga whales.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm back.
Here he is.
So yeah,
I had to
welcome
switch it
back.
to shorts. Did you guys keep reading, or did you keep talking about the?
We kept
Oh, no,
talking about beluga whales.
Sorry, whoever's editing this. I'm probably gonna give it to Leonard. Oh, are we good? Shall we move on?
Yeah.
We shall.
Well, it's been a bit of a slow news week for Star Trek, with everyone waiting on Prodigy. Well, it's been a bit of a slow news this week for Star Trek, with everyone waiting on Prodigy. But here's some updates on other stories we've talked about. But here are some updates on other stories we've talked about on previous episodes of the show.
How about I roll with this
Roscoe?
one?
Yeah.
If you have not had a chance to see the new trailer for the upcoming History Channel docu-series The Center Seat, 55 Years of Star Trek, you should definitely check it out. According to the press release, The Center Seat will be, quote, the ultimate Star Trek documentary that everyone has always wanted and now they're getting, end quote. Each episode of the series will focus on a different chapter in Star Trek history, starting with the inception of the original Star Trek series as Desilu. But even the trailer features...
At Desilu, not as.
At Desilu, not as Desilu. That makes much more sense. Let me see. Each episode of the series will focus on a different chapter in Star Trek history, starting with the inception of the original Star Trek series at Desilu. But even the trailer features some pretty saucy quotes from the cast and crew of the various shows and movies. For example, we hear more from Will Wheaton, Denise Crosby, Kate Mulgrew, and Robert Beltran about their less than ideal working circumstances. And for Sir Rock Lofton, we hear about his extreme dislike of having to wear the onesie uniform while also going through puberty. Nicholas Meyer, writer of The Undiscovered Country, speaks about how much William Shatner hated the script for the movie and the effect that had on, well, pretty much everyone else involved. The show doesn't cover any of the new Trek series, but definitely appears to be a comprehensive and detailed exploration of the Star Trek universe over the first 55 years of the show. Created by the Nacelle Company, who also produced Netflix's The Movies That Made Us and The Toys That Made Us, the series is narrated by Dr. Beverly Crusher herself, Gates McFadden, and directed by Nacelle Company founder Brian Volk Weiss. There's not been an official release date given, other than it should premiere sometime this fall.
Yeah, I checked the History Channel website and I couldn't find it because usually fall shows are out in September, but I haven't seen this yet. If anybody has the History Channel, like for real, not just online, let me know if it's out. because this looks awesome. Man, did you guys watch that trailer?
Yeah, it looks amazing. And it was
Looks
wonderful
like,
and hopeful.
wow.
And then all of a sudden, gear shift. And, we're talking about Jake Sisko's onesie. And I thought, oh, yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense for a young teenage lad. That's a challenge. That's an acting challenge. Yeah.
Absolutely. Poor guy, man. Yeah, you always think those uniforms are... Yeah.
Awkward. Yeah.
But yeah, I think this looks like a really good series. I'm definitely gonna watch.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Does this go on? No, they does not. When the nanoprobes gently come to rest on ornaments hanging from the boughs of trees, and assimilation tubules shine in the festive glow of twinkling lights. Christmas is soon upon us, and you can count down to festive assimilation with the 2021 Borg Cube Advent Calendar. Is that to your liking, Roscoe? Did I read that well?
Oh, that exceeds my expectations. That is beautiful.
The calendar features 24 Trek gifts behind alcoves, or windows if you prefer, and includes gifts of socks, coasters, and an espresso cup commemorating the first warp speed flight in 2063. It's made by Eagle Moss, the same company who also made a TARDIS shape. It's made by Eagle Moss, the company who also made a TARDIS-shaped advent calendar for devout Whovians, and is available for purchase now. It could be just the thing to put you in the mood for Picard Season 2, with the Borg Queen to feature as part of the time-traveling tale. And, speaking of Season 2...
Go, Kat.
In an interview with TrekMovie.com, Issa Briones spoke about where we would find Soji in Picard Season 2. Should we do something else? Let's see. That's a pretty good segue, right? Yeah, all right. Let me try that again. In an interview with TrekMovie.com, Issa Briones spoke about where we would find Soji in Picard Season 2, a place where she can finally be herself now that being an android is... A place where she can finally be herself now that being an android is no longer outlawed. Quote, we're definitely seeing a new kind of level of her evolution as she's coming into her own. She's finally allowed to be who she is and be accepted by the universe, the galaxy, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, we get to see her in this new, more certain place of who she is, and that's very exciting, end quote. The interview covered working under strict COVID conditions, as well as the broader strokes of Season 2 and how it connects to the world we're living in. Quote, there's a big emphasis, I think, on mental health for sure. We're seeing these characters go through some hard moments and really leaning on each other and prioritizing their own mental health in order to save everyone else. And I think that's a very relatable storyline and a storyline that we need right now, end quote. For the full interview, check out our show notes.
And the hype train continues heading towards the station for Strange New Worlds. Even Anson Mount, starring as Batman in the new DC animated movie Injustice, can't stop interviewers from asking about the new series. Mount will play the role of the Dark Knight in the animated adaptation of the video game Injustice, where a traumatized Superman turns evil. In an interview with Sci-Fi Wire, Mount talks about the recording process and not being the first Christopher Pike to take a turn at Batman. If you're playing along at home, Bruce Greenwood has voiced Batman a couple of times and was also the Kelvin Universe's version of one of Starfleet's greatest captains. But when the discussion turned to Strange New Worlds, Mount reinforced the episodic nature of the show, as well as a moment that really would give every Trek fan goosebumps. Quote, I was just there as Anson in my own clothes, and I sat down in the chair. And it was in that moment that I flashed back to playing Star Trek as my make-believe game when I was like 8 years old. Something about it was just really strangely emotional for me. And I'm still doing that. I don't even know really how to articulate it, but it's surreal and it's weird, and it's something that I'm so grateful for. End quote. As always, track out our show notes for the full interview.
I watched Injustice. It is not for kids. Do not watch it.
Oh
with your
no!
kids. And Anson Mount did a great job as Batman. I thought that he delivered a good performance. And DC animated films are, hands down some of the best films you'll be able to watch. Better than even their live action ones. So yeah, if you are into Batman, if you like the idea of an alternate universe Superman that gets real mad, then you might want to check this out. And if you're a fan of Anson Mount.
Well, Captains, that's all the news we have to check out this week. Now let's find out what happened in the world of Star Trek gaming.
3057, please.
Hey, Kel MG96.
What's up?
Hello, Kel.
It's okay that you are late. Great that you're here.
All right. Shall we jump into gaming?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, how about 3130? 3130 for gaming. All right. 3, 2. I'll take this.
Do you want to read this one? Yeah, and I'll do the next thing.
Well, we're off to some great news. Star Trek Online tweeted earlier on Tuesday that the recent partnership with Fanatical, offering in-game bundles to benefit the Boys and Girls Club of America, raised more than $77,000. Well done to all of you who contributed to this excellent cause.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Fantastic. Isn't it wonderful when the willingness of people to put their hand in their pocket because A, good cause, B, good starships, bring those together, you got a happy community.
For sure. And those were pretty good bundles, so I hope, you guys were able to donate and take advantage of that. Oh, it's this me?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a week since the Cat's Tail Halloween TFO was released, and while it took players a few days to get to know how to navigate the phases of the TFO, it seems like most people now are really enjoying the mission. As you and your team are first transported to the castle on Pyrus 7, or Boreth, either way, the music and the lighting as you beam in definitely set the mood for battling skeletons, witches, skulls, and Davidians. In a creepy surprise, you're treated to some Bonniekin voiceover as you make your way downstairs and through the hallways as you light candles, because it's super dark in this castle. In the first phase, though, you're attacked by skeletons, and you can only kill them when when they are standing in the circles of candlelight. So,
Take it from the top of that sentence, please.
okay, I'm like, what are you motioning?
I'm sorry, I was drinking water, and so I couldn't.
Yeah, this is too long. Wrap it up. It's too long.
I know, I'm like, wait a minute, what?
This is supposed to be rewind. This is wrap it up.
Oh,
This is rewind.
I didn't have the... Okay,
Did you not
whatever.
get that memo? My signing. Signing.
No, but hey, Nick, do good.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
All right, where was I? I'm just going to start fresh. Okay. In a creepy surprise, you're treated to some Bonniekin voiceover as you make your way downstairs through the hallways, lighting candles, because it's dark in this castle. Though in the first phase, you're attacked by a bunch of skeletons, and it's important to note that you can only kill them when they're standing in the circles of candlelight. So there's some equipment that I highly recommend you pick up if you're able to. It's the Universal Kit Module Gravity Containment Unit. And you can get it from, as long as you've reached tier 4 in the Discovery reputation, you can get it from there. And you use it if you're standing in the circle of candlelight. You can pull all those skeletons over to you and kill them right there. It's amazing. In the next phase, you go to a room and kill some witches who then transport you and your teammate, or you by yourself, to separate rooms. Now, I've been doing this a week, and I've only ever been to the library for some reason, where you get a shelf books and, you know, the right shelf. Otherwise, you get attacked. But there's also a cauldron room where you have to make potions, and a room with spiders, which I really don't feel like I need to go there ever. But after you pass this room, you go back and fight some more witches before you enter into the final phase where Dophidians attack. While it's handy to have the synchronic proton distortion prototype assault rifle from the mission Spin the Wheel when fighting these Dophidians, but really any weapon will work for this. The thing to remember in the final battle is that if you're the one who's... Oh, hold on. The thing to remember for the final battle, that if you're the one who's been phase shifted, you need to stop attacking the Davidians and locate those devices and deactivate them immediately, because you're only phased for a short amount of time, so you really got to be quick. But all in all, I love running this TFO. It's really fun, as long as I don't have to go kill spiders.
I got the room with the spiders.
Oh,
you don't want to go there.
I don't want any part of that. No, I like the library. I can do that.
All of a sudden, I've only ever played it, and I've only ever got the spiders. And so, yeah, that's great. They are just menacing. They totally give you the creeps. So that's been a real challenge. And I thank you, because for the life of me, I could not figure out why these skeletons weren't dying. Why couldn't I shoot them? Why weren't they?
In the candlelight, that kit module is the most magical thing, because you could try. I mean, another way to draw aggro though is to plant some turrets in those circles. But for me, I just like pulling them over. I guess you could use Molor's sword too to pull, enemies to you. But right when they're right next to you, I love to use my knives and just throw knives at skeletons. That's just fun.
Yeah, this was a very fun mission. I will say that I had no idea what the crap was happening. It takes a few while to get used to it, so I wasn't sure if I just didn't read the instructions, if I just ended up effing my way through the beginning part of the explanation, but I had no idea. Somebody in the team had to tell me they have to be in the candlelight to be killed. I was like, oh, okay, all right, there's that.
I mean, it does say that, but you can miss it.
Yeah, and then I wasn't quite sure what to do in the library, and then I figured out, oh, okay, it's punny. And then in the great finale where you're fighting the giant Davidian, I don't know what devices I'm supposed to hit. I have no idea. I see the pillars glowing, but I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for. Like, so
there's like a green triangle. Yeah, there's a green triangle above the stairs that you can only see it when you're phased though. So as soon as you're phased, you have to immediately look around and figure out where those devices are and run over there.
Oh yeah, nah.
So I took my weapon off auto fire. Yeah, I took my weapon off auto fire because it goes really fast. You have to be fast about it. Now you can use that. What's that device? The phase shifter thing that you also can get from that mission. Yeah. You can use that, but you can only use it once, and there's more than one device, so it's kind of helpful, but not really.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this is a mission that should have had a bit of a cutscene tutorial in the beginning, like other missions, right? The other like zoom in. This is what you have to attack. Zoom out. Go to the next scene and attack this. And at the very end, zoom in and attack this. But definitely something you can skip, because there's a lot going on in this TFO. And if you don't have friends that are familiar with it, you just kind of go with the flow and just attack everything and shoot. But overall, I did like assimilating the skeletons. That was fun. I did learn that you can assimilate this. The first thing I love that assimilation kit. I love it.
It's so awesome.
Because then everybody, you just especially when the NPCs group up, one hit and you have a whole slew of Borg drones attacking. And it was funny to see the skeletons do it. I didn't think it was gonna work, but lo and behold, it worked, and the skeletons became assimilated.
Oh, another tip is it's really not recommended to run pets during that first skeleton part because, again, you want to draw them into the circles, and then pets are everywhere and they just run around. So yeah, if you put a turret, the turrets are good to draw aggro for that. So anyway, I love it. I think it's great. I like running it. I log in all the time. I might run it more than once.
Nice.
In the chat, Nick Duguid says there are 3 switches, one at the top of each set of stairs, left and right, and one to the right under the balcony. So when you're phased, that is where you'll find those switches.
Interesting.
Nice. So if you can set up your phase shift device around the location, you should be able to deactivate it without being phased by the Davidian. I have not tried that yet, but it's on my list of things to try. But that thing has a 9-minute cooldown, so again, you get one chance at it.
Right. Well, in other gaming news, you want me to read it, or do you want to read it, Roscoe?
I can read it. Yeah, I can read it. If tabletop gaming is more your style, then be sure to check out the latest update from Modifius. The company behind Star Trek Adventures has worked hard to incorporate work from other Trek properties, like Star Trek Online and Hero Collector and Eaglemoss. Their latest release comes directly from the pages of IDW's Star Trek Year 5, the comic series chronicling the final year of the Enterprise under James T. Kirk. The 26-page digital release is filled with content pulled directly from the pages of the Year 5 series, adapted for use in Star Trek Adventures. There is information on 2 new factions. 3 new player character life path options, including the Tholians and the Icosa, 12 non-player characters, including Harry Mudd and Gary Seven, and 5 starships to use as allies or adversaries. Fred Love, STA contributing writer, said in a blog post, the series puts a new spin on some old characters, as well as delving into the world of Federation politics like never before. You don't have to read the series to play, and the supplement is available for download now.
Well, I guess close it up. You want to talk about that?
Has anyone read Star Trek Year 5?
No, I haven't.
I've read about 5-6 issues, and I can highly recommend it. It is excellent. The Tholians are a big deal. There's some great storyline. There's a great little storyline going on with the Tholians and a hatchling. Tholian hatchling, and a few other little planet. There's a planet that they revisit as well that they had gone to in the original series, and that had evolved a little bit further. So it's really, really fun and very well done.
Nice. We're doing all of this.
Can you read? No, read the first. So read this, and then read that wraps up gaming news, and then. Now because I'm not sure if Robert will get to it.
Okay. That wraps up gaming news this week. Now let's open hailing frequencies and see what's incoming. Now let's get a first-person review of the Star Trek exhibit in Los Angeles with Dr. Robert Hurt.
All right. And that's at 43:56.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Nick, Tumor Boy, that warp core, just that interior you've been working on is just every time I see it, it is better and better and better. You are doing amazing work, my friend. That is just magic.
I love it. So cool looking. It's really cool because I was watching your video as you were building it, and then to see as it's completed, it's just like, wow. A lot of work goes into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, amazing. The detail that just the LCAR's displays, and just that steady pulse of the warp core lights. Love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Rutherford. I mean Boimler.
I just love the Cerritos. I just love it.
It's more electric.
That was the Enterprise at warp 5. Okay. And it was the D. Come on, who doesn't go to sleep with the soothing sound of Enterprise D engine noises in the background for 12 hours? Come on.
If I travel, if I can't get Star Trek to play, there is a website that I use all the time called Ultimate Sci-Fi Spaceship Soundscape. It's mynoise.net. Oh, here, I'll share it. I'll put the link in the chat.
In the chat, please do.
Does it have the Cylon noise?
I am not responsible for anything that this website provides. Okay. Open at your own risk.
Click at your own risk.
Yes. Let me put that in. Click at your own risk. Okay. And there it is in the chat. You can set it to be, the Enterprise or whatnot, and engine rumble, the bridge, and go to sleep with it. Let it run.
Just feel the hum, baby.
It started
Just
playing when I clicked the link, and I got sleepy.
You've Pavloved yourself.
All right, let's do closing and wrap this show up. 4620, please. 4620. Well, captains, hailing frequencies are now opened, and what? Well, captains, hailing frequencies are now open, and we're ready to receive all of your incoming messages.
This week we asked, what are your thoughts of Star Trek Online's spooky TFO, and what suggestions do you have on how to beat it? Much like the very ones we talked about.
Via Twitter, Eric Penahori writes, you have to knock/lure the skeletons into the range of a lit candle. They lit on fire. Hang on.
I did not have an opportunity.
Via Twitter. It's okay. Via Twitter, Eric Penahori writes, you have to knock/lure the skeletons into the range of a lit candle. They light on fire for the duration of being in range. Only then they are vulnerable. A lot of powers make seeing if they're vulnerable difficult.
Captain BG2301 also said on Twitter, I have to say that TFO is fun with a good team. When you have people that just run in and shoot at everything, it can make it very hard and long. Plus, the use of pets can really slow things down as they draw aggro from you.
All right, let's... All right. On Facebook, Matt Black also advises not to use pets. The first part requires you... Kite the skeletons?
Mm-hmm. You kite them.
The first part requires you to kite the skeletons into the areas around the candles. Otherwise, they're invulnerable. My first go-around with a drone engineering build was a slog because of that.
We also asked what was your favorite scene from the Star Trek Lower Decks Season 2 finale. Also via Facebook, David Rutley says, quote, nothing. Also via Facebook, David Rutley says, nothing like saving a friend than going skinny dipping. Matt and Kamala in Cetacean Ops scene must be the first time Cetacean crew were ever shown on a Star Trek ship.
Did you say Kamalu or Kamala?
Kamalu.
I thought there was a Lou.
Okay.
There was a Lou on the end.
Is it Kamalu? We need to pronounce
Kamalu.
They don't we don't get a pronunciation because
Yeah,
they're
we
just
don't.
yelling at
Yeah.
each
All
other
right, that's
in
fine.
whale.
I just
Matt
wanted to make
and
sure you didn't say Kamala.
Yeah, it's Kamalu Harris.
But it's not who it is. That's
Yeah.
I don't.
That's where she started her career. She was in Cetacean Ops.
Stop. They're listening, and I don't want them to. Stop.
Dude, come on. They've always been listening.
It's true. I have like
Well,
three
true.
Google. I have 3 Google Homes in the house. You think I give a shit?
Yeah.
All right.
Would you like me to do that one again?
Nah, it's fine.
No, you're good. You're good. All right. Well, then let me just do one thing before you roll on.
Thank you. Well, that wraps up episode 528 of Priority One, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. But there are more great shows available to you on the Roddenberry Podcast Network. Just visit podcasts.roddenberry.com for a complete list. Then be sure to subscribe to them all and share them with your friends.
And we can't forget to send a special thanks to some of our Patreon supporters like David K. Rutley, Peter Archibald, and Gerald Bosch.
Captains, it's important to us that you get your voice heard and that you participate in the conversation. Leave us a comment or a voice message on our website at priorityonepodcast.com, on our Facebook page at facebook.com/priorityonepodcast, or find us on Twitter and Instagram at priorityonepod.
And if you're still craving more, be sure to spend time with Winters, Anthony, Thomas, Gray, me, plus the rest of the Priority One Armada. Saturday nights, the Armada broadcasts live to review the latest news from Star Trek Online and the Armada community, including spotlighting some of our amazing members. With regular giveaways, there's something for all STO players, whether you're new or a veteran. Follow us on all our social media accounts for broadcast times, and if you'd like to join the Armada, visit PriorityOneArmada.com.
This episode of Priority One is brought to you by our patrons through patreon.com. During these difficult times, Captains, this has been a tough couple of years, but we are humbled by the continued support by listeners like you. People who find value in the content we produce each and every week and support us through patreon.com/Priority One.
And don't forget to tune in to Priority One Productions' Guard Frequency podcast at guardfrequency.com. Each episode, the Guard will take you inside the universe of your favorite space sims, including a tabletop adventure played out by your hosts. And Heroes Rise brings you up to date with the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Learn about all the latest publications, tools, tips, tricks, and traps in less time than it takes to skin a wyvern. Head over to heroesrisepodcast.com to discover their secrets.
A special thanks to our audio editors this week. Intro and closing were edited by William. Trek It Out, edited by Lennon. Gaming by Gray. Oh, yeah, we don't have on screen anymore. And gaming
And then just
by
go,
Gray.
and thanks.
Thanks to our producer, Jake, and associate producers, Shane and Thomas. Together, they help us organize and write up our summary of the weekly headlines from the Star Trek Multiverse. Thanks to our graphic artist, Alejandro, with support from Jason of the Priority One Armada. Thanks to our social media managers, Sarah and James. Thanks to the composer of our theme music, Chris Watts. But most importantly, a big thanks to you, the Star Trek community, our listeners, because without your ongoing support, none of this would be possible. All right, Captains. Thank you scene. Thank you again for being a part of this Tuesday evening with us. Thank you all for the birthday wishes as they were coming through in the chat. Thanks for spending my birthday with me. Thank you, Roscoe. Thank you, Kat.
Aw, you're
Pleasure.
welcome.
So
We hope to see you at Ticonderoga.
Yeah. So plans are thank you, KLMG. That's right. So if you happen to, have the means by which to travel to Ticonderoga, New York, we're talking about going. What was it? I forget already. The second or first?
No, yeah, second. The 14th.
The 14th. The 14th.
12th and 13th.
So we're thinking about doing a trip to Ticonderoga, New York to trek out the bridge again and have some good old times while together. So if you have the means by which to attend, mark your calendars for that week. It looks like we might be making a trip up there. If all goes according to plan, we all have to touch base and all that jazz. But yeah, let's do it. Until next week, captains. Roscoe, enjoy your weekend on a beautiful vacation that you're taking.
Tropical island, heading off to heading off.
I don't want to tell people where you were going.
That's good. There's plenty of tropical islands in Queensland. I could be going to any one of them.
Fair enough.
But it's going to be amazing. Very much looking forward to it.
Well, enjoy it. All right, Kat, do you have any plans?
I have to study for another test.
Ah, well, have fun.
Yeah, that'll
Enjoy.
be great. Yay.
All right, everybody, have a good night. See you next week.
Thanks all.
Bye, y'all.